Greetings everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Captain Rye and today I've got the glorious USS Texas review for you. That's right, USS Texas BB-35, Tier 5 US Navy Premium Battleship, available in the tech tree for gold. Now, I just got my hands on the Texas just this last week. It was part of a premium code that was handed out at Wargaming's Let's Battle Tour. So, if you were thinking about attending one of those, if it comes to your area next, I highly recommend that you get that RSVP, make the arrangements, and you get down there so you can get your hands on some of these really nice premium gifts that they're handing out. And chat with the staff. I mean, those poor staff, they don't let them out of their cages very often, so it's definitely important to socialize them appropriately. So, the USS Texas. What do I think of it? Well, initially, I was pretty skeptical of this ship going into it, and one of the big reasons I didn't buy it was for the simplest reason that it's just a New York, right? It's just a New York clone. It's like the ARP Congos. They're just Congo clones. Well, that's not entirely the case. The Texas is a New York class battleship, but it is not just like its sister. No, the gun arcs on the Texas are vastly superior to the New York, which means you don't have to go broadside on to get that number 3, that center gun turret, to fire, especially if you're angling bow on. And just like all US battleships, the tactics that I'm using from my New Mexico, and I am using my New Mexico skipper, who's a 15-pointer with Concealment Expert, I find that you can use those tactics of keeping your guns all on one side of the ship and then just turning your ship to get your guns on bear, whether or not wherever the target is, you just turn your ship. Keep your guns pointed generally the same side. You don't have to go too far. And just turn the ship. Works really, really well, especially in brawling situations. The gun turrets, like all US battleships, traverse very, very slowly, and so you have to utilize that tactic. And as you can see here on screen, those turrets, I'm turning the ship around, I'm getting my turrets turn around, and they are taking their sweet time. And if you are in a closing engagement with enemy ships, or you have multiple enemy ships shooting at you, you really cannot take the time to do this. So if you want to play it to its maximum effectiveness, you basically just have to play it like an old ship of the line and keep all your guns on the same side and just turn the ship and keep your ship and the guns pointed front towards this side, towards enemy. But do be careful not to expose your broadside to too many big guns. However, it has great maneuverability. The turning circle on these ships is pretty darn good, and with the rudder shift time, you can get that down to a level that is not painfully slow. So you can maneuver in this ship, and because you can maneuver in this ship with a small turning circle, it's very, very good for torpedo beating action. Most of the carriers you're going to go up against are going to be Tier 4, Tier 5, occasionally Tier 6 and Tier 7, but only a Tier 7 carrier has the planes and the plane HP to actually really take you on. I find that a Tier 4 carrier won't get anywhere near you. If they try, you're going to deplane them very quickly. The anti-aircraft on the Texas is vastly superior to the New York. The secondary guns, they're shit. So don't go try for a secondary build on this. But do put an AA build if you're looking to go up the US battleship line. AA builds are pretty good. You know, there's some secondary bonuses in there. Maybe do a concealment build if you'd like to work your way up to a 15-point captain to get that Concealment Expert build. No, I would recommend the Concealment Expert build personally. Manual secondaries, this ship is probably not that kind of a ship that you... I mean, you can use it to train, sure, but it's not the ship that you want to be trying to do manual secondaries on. for the simplest reality that you're not going to see any noticeable improvement between regular secondaries and manual secondaries. You just don't have enough of them when you get up there. But if you do need a ship for training cruiser captains, battleship captains, this is the ship for you. Tier 5, which means you're going to make decent XP and you're going to make decent credits. The ship holds its own really, really well against ships of even 2 tiers higher. I have had at least 2 battles in this ship where I've been bottom tier at tier 5 in a tier 7 battle and still managed to do surprisingly well against higher tier ships. I really don't think that people kind of look at it and they go, oh, well, it's just a New York clone. The Texas isn't all that special, right? And they're wrong. But, like any of the US battleships, it does have that weakness. It doesn't have the turtleback armor that the German battleships have. So you do have to keep that in mind, that you are going to take regular penetrations, and you can be citadeled. But if you keep your ship angled, having somebody actually manage to land a citadel on you is going to be just as difficult. And so the Texas can be used in a brawler situation. She is slow, though. So you'll notice in some of these battles that have been playing in the background, I'm not stopping. I'm not sitting in the back. I have an 18.1 kilometer gun range. Yes, and I have a 13 kilometer detectability range. This is true. But I'm still pushing up because I'm so slow that if I decide I'm going to sit back somewhere, I'm going to get maybe 1 or 2 targets to shoot at, and then they're going to be dead, or the rest of my team is, and now I'm stuck in the open, way back in the backfield with nothing to do, nothing to shoot at, and no way to help my team. So you have to keep pushing forward in order to do this really, really well in the Texas. But she does it really, really well. She is fantastic at closing in, just that steady, slow and steady, winning the race sort of situation. And provided you can keep your ship angled, you really can cause all sorts of frustrations for enemies shooting at you. A prime example here in the video, we're going up against this German battleship, and everybody seems to be under the impression that the German battleships have replaced the US battleships as the brawler line. Well, the higher tier ones do have better secondaries. Low tier ones, though, their secondaries aren't really much better than, say, a Congo's or the New York's, or in this case, the Texas. The only advantage they have is the turtleback armor, so you can't go in and expect to citadel the enemy team. But citadels be damned, regular penetrations still hurt. They still cause serious, serious problems. And any enemy ship that lets you get close enough, well, they're going to have a bigger problem with you than you are with them. Especially with German battleships, they get overconfident. They think they have the turtleback armor, so they don't angle their ship. They're like, well, you can't citadel me. Ah, no, but regular penetration still hurt, and there was a massive regular penetration on that ship. When he started this engagement, he had more health than I did, and now, ending it, he has far less health. Then again, he's also not shooting at me, and he's got other people shooting at him. But working together with the team, the Texas's maneuverability, and you'll see, in order to keep my guns on that target, I'm turning the ship. And the Texas is really, really good at this. Overall, I definitely recommend the Texas. If you're looking to get a Tier 5 premium, this is the ship that you probably should consider getting for your US captains. Yeah, the Atlanta up at Tier 7, but you know what I find? I make as much money in the Tier 5 Texas as I do in my Tier 7 Scharnhorst. As I do in the Indianapolis, because the repair costs at Tier 5 are so much lower, and you can do just as much damage in this gorgeous, glorious ship. If you're wondering about the post-battle results screens for some of these matches, they're coming up right now. The first one here on the Solomon's map second on the team for damage done. It was actually a come from behind win where we were pretty low on the points margin there and then started pulling it back, and the Texas is good for doing that. You can see there 370,000 credits. Fantastic at tier 5 in any ship. Not the maximum I've ever earned, but still really, really good. And all of the enemies that you can damage with this ship really prove its point. The second post-battle results screen there, you can see 111,777 damage done and 429,000 or 425,000 credits earned. Really good. Again, top tier on the team. And that's it for my review of the Texas in today's video. If you liked the video, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below and I'll try and answer it. If you'd like to like me on Facebook and get semi-regular updates about what's coming out next or what new video series I'm planning, please do so. And if you'd like to support me and my channel, please visit my Patreon and support me there. You can find the links for both of those in the description down below. This is Captain Rye, signing off.